ridiculous. So we had one endurance race that Cholo set up for Gran Turismo Sport. It was a 6-hour race, and I did it.
The fuck?
6 hour at Le Mans. Now, keep in mind, like at this point, I'm like pretty new to racing. Like I know what courses are on like the F1 tour, but like any other tour, I had no idea what they were, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. So I log in. I'm 4.5 hours into this race, and people are like, oh, I'm just gonna take a break now. I'm like, what? No, motherfucker, no. Like, because now I'm 4.5 hours in, right? So now I'm thinking like maybe I could maybe pass them on because they're tired. And then they're like,
Yeah.
no, I'm just gonna put the computer on. I'm like, no, you motherfucker. This is the only time that I can pass you. Because yeah,
Man, I couldn't
no,
6 hours. That's crazy.
yeah, it was me, Cholo, Ian. Now Ian used to be my Canadian buddy, but he moved over to iRacing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but like I loved him. Like Ian, he fuck, what was his name? He had like a his name was that's it. His name. This is so funny. So his name was Ian, right? Like, and he's from Canada. I'm pretty sure he was
Yeah.
from like Qatar. He's from like Toronto area,
Yeah.
but but, but his name, like his original gamer tag, was Fast Eddie, and I'm like, what? But Fast Eddie was like he got it from like it was like an '80s movie, like like Ferris and Bueller's Day Off or
Wasn't
whatever.
that like the ski jump or whatever?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what he got it from, right? And I was like, oh, okay, I dig it. So, like, me and him were, like, good buddies for a bit, but then he just couldn't handle, like, well, like, like me in the junior league, right, where, like, I completely snap.
Yeah.
He did that in, like, he did, like, that in the fucking, MRC. So he's like, yeah, I'm done, yeah. Which I get. Like, I mean, like, some people, because he liked the fact that, like, um, with iRacing, like, everybody's held accountable for what they do, and I get that, you know. But at the same time, it's like he got together with us at first, and then just like completely bailed, which is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what fucking Nasty came out. We have to fire with because me and him like we have cell phone numbers together, right? He's like,
Yeah.
Mike. He's like, you fucking left the league? I'm like, bro. I'm like, I fucking took 3 laps to pass this kid because he was shitty. So I passed him, and then as soon as I'm passing him, he's just fucking pit maneuvers me. I'm like, no, I'm like, that's the problem with like the younger kids in us. Like, I'm like, they can't ever be beaten. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when I was a kid, you never like talked like you never said, hey, like you never like anybody that was like if I'm in grade 7 and there's a grade 8, I just bite my tongue because he'll beat the shit out of me if I talk shit.
Yeah.
But whereas like nowadays it's like I can say whatever I want. If you hit
Yeah.
me, you're the bad guy. You know what I mean? And so me and Nasty got like me and him good. So when I quit the league the other night, I'm like, man, like I have no like this is the second time this happened. Like, and I'm done with it. I'm like I enjoy racing on Thursday nights with you guys. Like whether I finish P19 or whether I finish P12, I have a fun time with you guys because it's
Yeah.
racing and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't have to fucking explain to you guys like, hey, listen, you have a 6 second penalty and I have no second penalties and I'm coming on you with DRS. Maybe you should let me buy you. Like, you know,
Yeah.
maybe I don't have to explain that to you guys. Whereas these kids, they just have no concept of like, oh, he's passing me, so that affects me as a male, so I have to pit maneuver him. Like, yeah, like no, like there's another day you can race.
Who was it?
Oh, fucking Sam Dez or whatever.
Oh, so he's not in MRC.
No, he's only in the junior league.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then my favorite is like, so like I left, right? I went into the junior league. This is what I said. I'm like, I respectfully retire from this league. I'm like, I'm done with you kids. And then he sends a novel. He sends a novel to Nasty. Nasty forwards a novel to me. I'm like, I have no care.
What was he saying?
He's like, I moved over on him and didn't give him enough room or whatever. And I'm like, so you held me up for 4 laps. I respectfully raced you from behind. And the second that I had DRS, you pit maneuvered me. But yeah, you're right. Yeah, I was being greedy. Like, no, like I sat back for 3 laps, just paced and wait until I got my DRS. As soon as I got DRS, I go to pass him. Then he pit maneuvers me. I'm like, you fucking
Yeah.
asshole.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
it made me so mad. But like I said,
Yeah,
like,
kids are hard sometimes.
well,
Trying to prove themselves.
and I get it, right? But at the same time, it's like, as I think we were racing for at that point, like Pete. I think at that point he already put me back. That's what pissed him off, I think. So like, I was P3. He spun me out. I broke my wing and pitted. So I broke my
Yeah.
wing, pitted, and then came back on hards and just put a huge stint in. And then I
Yeah.
was gonna pass him again. He's like, "Nope, not having it," and then just put me out. And I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "I get it." I'm like, that. Like, if I was him, I get it.
Is there footage of it?
Oh, bro, dude. Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I stream everything. Like, AK
What do you
called me.
stream on?
YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my cock is itchy. What was it the other day? Dude, last night this is so funny. My buddy Shane, he's like, he used to race with us. He plays more NHL though. So he's like, yo, you got a broken thumb? He's like, let's play skins golf. I'm like, okay. So I set up a round. I'm like, you know I have a broken thumb, right? He's like, yeah. That's why I think I can beat you. I'm like, okay. Well, I'm like, let me pick the course then. He's like, okay. So I'm like, so I picked TPC at Sawgrass, which is my favorite course, right? But like, I hit the water 4 times, and he couldn't put me away. And I'm like, bro,
It's
I'm
hard
like,
to swing with a cast.
yeah, well, not even. So what I'm doing, I showed him the video. I'm like, I'm not even using my thumb. I'm using my right index finger, and I'm shooting it like golden tee. He's like, are you
Like a
kidding me?
golden tee?
Like, like golden tee where like you roll the ball.
No.
You never, oh no. So like
I don't
so
know. I
like
don't really know golf. I just play the
no
game
no.
sometimes. It's fun.
So no, it's an arcade game.
Oh,
So
in
so you know how like
PGA?
yep. It's in
Oh.
Big Buck Hunter. Like
Like
for
the shooting game?
yeah. So they have Golden Tee Golf, which is like the exact same thing but golf. That's like yeah. So
Duck Hunter, but golf?
yeah, dude, it's called so they have Buck Hunter, which is like the deer hunting game,
Yeah.
and then they have Golden Tee, same manufacturers except for where they take out like the rifle. They just give you like this like ball that you roll in the middle of
Hmm.
it. Yeah, so that's what I was doing. So like instead of like using like I probably could switch it over so I'm just using my left hand. Right. But so now
Yeah.
instead of using my right thumb, I use my right 2 fingers, like I put them together and I go so you'll see
Hey, it
on
works
the
worse though.
no you'll see on the stream. So if I go slow, like if I go way back and forward, I'll get it like straight, but the pace will be slow, so it'll curve to the right. Right? If I go fast, it'll look like an S, and I shank it to the left. It's so funny. My buddy's like, Shane's like, why are your putting so shitty? And I'm like, bro, because I don't have a broken thumb, you asshole. Like, what do you mean why is my putting so shitty?
What's up,
The
guys?
real handicap.
Oh,
What's up, guitar?
there's guitar.
What's up?
I got home. Bar.
I'm driving the Tomahawk at Le Mans.
Nice.
Mm.
Which race is that?
I think 700 or something. Maybe less. I thought it was only 8 laps, but it appears to be half an hour. It's
Yeah,
a timed race.
Time trial. Yeah.
So it doesn't actually matter how fast your car is.
Yeah. I could do 4 laps
Yeah,
and they're
yeah,
okay.
I did that before.
They're okay with that.
Well,
Yeah.
I did that one in the proper, like I think it was a GR4 car, and I actually I did it in 7 laps because I just parked on the finish line at the end and waited
Oh, yeah.
30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm on my 8th lap, but I still have almost 7 minutes left. So
I think I was doing one of
I
the
swore it
missions.
said it was 8 laps. Maybe it was like estimated 8 laps.
I was doing one of the mission races with the
Oh, the hour
Tomahawk.
ones?
Yeah, and I was so far ahead that I pitted 3 times, and each time I just stayed in the pit for 5 minutes without pressing it.
Really?
Damn it.
I ordered pizza at 11,
No.
and the delivery time just kept on going up and up and up until it was 12:30. And I was like, okay, fuck this. I'm gonna cancel the order. I'm hungry. All the stores are closed.
Tell me this guy
I
showed
couldn't
up.
buy stuff. There's no food, so we ordered
It should be free at that point.
No. I'm
well,
gonna
they
tell you.
offered me $5 just to wait.
No.
Wait it out, and then
No.
they gave me $5, and I was like, fuck
It's
that.
not happening, no.
It's
not
so we
happening.
ordered fucking, what's it called? Burger King.
Oh, yeah, BK. I got the king. Man, so this is a funny story. So me and my girlfriend, we're at a hotel, and I'm like, man, I'm hungry, girl. She's like, yeah, I'm hungry too. So we ordered Domino's on I have coupons for everything. It's ridiculous, right? So no, it's ridiculous. So I ordered a pizza, right? So now it's been an hour and 5 minutes, right? And now we're both drunk, just you know what I mean, and I'm like, where's my fucking pizza? So then I call Domino's. I'm like, I'd like to cancel my pizza, please, because I realized that I'm ordering Domino's pizza, right? But there's the pizza spot, which is a little East Indian pizza spot that's literally 30 seconds from my hotel, right? But
okay.
I wanted to order a chain, so I got the pizza points, but they weren't giving me pizza points. So I canceled that. So this is awesome. So I called Domino's. I'm like, I'd like to cancel my pizza. They're like, no problem. So I walk to the pizza store. As I'm walking to the pizza store, I see a Domino's car drive by me. I'm like, no. I'm like, there's no way that this motherfucker didn't get it. So now I'm walking back to my hotel room with a pizza in hand. And I get to my room.
Domino's.
I get in. My girlfriend's like, oh, thank you. Finally, you got us food. I'm like, yeah, no problem. We sit down, knock, knock, knock.
Oh, really?
No, listen. So the guy comes to the door. He's like, I got your pizza. And I'm like, bro. He's like, I'm like, check this out. I'm like, come in here for a second. He's like, no, sir, I'm not gonna come into your hotel room. Yeah. And I'm like, I get that. Look at this girl right now. My old lady, she's like, so at this point, I'm 24. She's 18. She got pizza all over her face. He's like, oh, you already got pizza? I'm like, yeah, I canceled yours. And I walked and got a new one. And she's eating it. And I'm like, how ridiculous that I have to tell you that I don't want your pizza. Like, oh
was
no,
he asking for money at the door?
Oh, bro, he had no idea that like not only had I called and canceled, that I had gotten other pizza, and I'm like, bro, I'm like, she's eating. I'm like, like look at her. Like I'm like, you think I'm gonna give you money? You
For more pizza.
Yeah. She's fine. Like I'm like, I don't even want the pizza. She wanted it. Like, oh yeah. But the audacity of him just like looking at me, he's like, oh, so like you're not gonna give? No, I'm not gonna give you any money. I reported to your people. Yeah, no, I told your family, your Domino's family, that I'm not giving you any money. 20 minutes ago, when I walked and got my own pizza, because I ordered it from you, you asshole. So funny, man. Oh, actually, tomorrow it's so funny. My buddy Spike, I went and got gas for him today at the res. He's like, Mike. He's like, so we got to register for our fucking for a go-karting tomorrow. You gonna be ready? I'm like, well, you're driving me, so you have to be. It's more important that you're ready than me.
Yeah.
He's like, I know you party though. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, listen, I'm like, you show up at my house, so you know where I am. You drive me there, and we're good to go. But I got like 3 other buddies of mine randomly on Instagram. They're like, so, saw you joined up for the mini Indy last year. I'm like, yeah, I joined and I paid the money. I never raced last year. Well, because last year was just so ridiculous. It was like,
yeah, I thought about doing it last year.
Yeah, it was just, well, because they wanted me to have my QR code, right? So I have a bunch of gangster buddies that gets me like whatever code I want, but the QR code, we could have had it, but it was
outdoor racing.
Yeah, right. Like
that's pretty lame.
No, dude, everything is like that. Like I came back from Windsor this week. I get so I come back from my sister's town. I go to my town. I go to get on the bus. He's like, "Do you have a mask?" I'm like, "You're not wearing a mask, sir."
I thought the mandates.
No, that's what I thought too, bro. Apparently not. So this bus driver's telling me you have to wear a mask. I'm like, you're not wearing one. He's like, yeah, but you gotta wear a mask. I'm like, okay, whatever. So the guy walks me back to the office. We go into his office together. He hands me a mask, and I'm like, bro, do you like if this was really a like super contagious fucking flu? Like, the fact that, like, we walked together into your office, you hand me a fucking mask to put on my face, that's probably gonna give me COVID more than just let me on the bus.
Yeah.
He laughed too. He's like, yeah, I get that, Mike. He's like, we gotta play the game. I'm like, okay, we'll play the game. Like, even the 63-year-old man, he's like, yeah, we gotta play the game, Mike. I'm like, oh, okay, we'll play the game. So funny. Yeah, because the COVID knows when I take my mask off when I sit down to not infect me. Thank you. Like, why do I have to wear the mask when I go to the store? I can take it off when I'm in the store. Why does this make any sense to me? I love it. WT. I need to win this fucking race. If I don't win this fucking race, I'm gonna lose my mind.
What race are you doing?
I'm on the WTC World Touring Car 600 Race 1.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so the first one in the Red Bull Ring is like heavy rain. I don't know why.
That one's a little tough, I remember.
Yeah, it's fucking, I think it's like 8 laps in like just heavy rain. No, 5 laps in heavy rain, yeah, just for no reason. Okay, where is mine? There it is. Man, this Red Bull pen is, it's delicious, but I know it's gonna get, like, I'm like 8 hits in. And I'm like, ooh, it's delicious. I'm like, I look over, I'm like, it's 1:60 in the morning. You should not be doing fucking, you should not be hitting THC and fucking energy drink in a fucking.
Does it actually have like?
Yeah, it tastes like it's literally
Oh God.
Red Bull.
Wow,
Like
that
That would
sounds
get you
pretty sick.
ripped.
it's my favorite instance called Major League Extractions. And they took the logo from Major League Gaming.
Oh really?
MLG? Yeah, it's called Major League Extractions. It's ridiculous. Like these weed companies are getting out of control. But it actually tastes like fucking Red Bull. It bothers me because it's so delicious.
It's a good problem though.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
I'm playing this this soccer game. It's exceptionally bad.
Exceptionally bad.
eFootball. Yeah, it's
terrible.
It's like a new free version of like Pro Evolution Soccer, but it's
no, don't
terrible.
say that.
It's like a mobile game.
Pro Evolution, there was some good things about that. Like it just
back in the day. Yeah.
It just doesn't compete with fucking FIFA is ridiculous. Like
it's almost here, Nahal. It's almost here. Yes. I hope this race doesn't take long.
Like, oh, my favorite is, so I went with this new weed supplier. So I bought so my pen was a little expensive. It was $40, which is usually, when I buy pens, it was usually $35. But then I doubled up that bitch with I think it's like, what is it? Like, I got like a half ounce of fucking 30% THC, and then they threw in like a quarter ounce of like a 25% THC. I'm like, you guys are ridiculous. I'm like, I would have been okay. I was okay with what I bought in the get-go. Like,
trying to get your business.
No, it's because the weed market in fucking Canada is just, it's retarded. Like, it's like, oh, I get you this and this and this. I'm gonna throw this in for free, and my sister's gonna come by next week and give you another quarter. I was like, what? Like, why?
Because there's so many shops right now that are just
that's it.
each other.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I gotta get this one up. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I didn't really ask for it, but okay.
I've never actually bought legal weed.
Like legal stuff, yeah.
Damn.
No, so
I like stopped smoking. Like, well, it's not necessarily true, but
yeah, just before, yeah.
Like, that's when it became like commercially available to buy legal weed.
I was like, yeah, it's like, yeah.
It's not cool.
Yeah. There's like a lot of my buddies who are the same way. They're like, I'm like, remember when we were kids and we would like sit there and like we'd look for 3 hours for our half quarter of weed. We'd roll a joint. We'd be like, man, it'd be so awesome if we could buy a pack of joints. It's like, now we can. It's like, yeah, we don't do that.
Yeah.
It's too expensive. Fuck the government. But like, yeah, it was literally like, we thought about that shit. We're like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we could just go to the store and buy a pack of joints like our buddies buy a pack of smokes? And now we can, but it's like, it's so astronomically expensive. We're like, yeah, fuck that shit.
Yeah, because like when it first became legal, it was just ridiculously more expensive.
Yeah,
and like I stopped smoking in like, I think like 2020 completely.
Yep.
And and like I don't know really now, but I feel like it's cheaper than it was, like legal wise.
Yeah, you can, like, depending on what you like, you can find like the different providers. Like certain providers will have.
But doesn't it all come from the government?
No, see, that's the thing. Okay, so this is the thing.
You think Doug Ford's back there growing it?
Oh, you know he is. Get the fuck out of here.
You have to buy it from.
No, they got other suppliers, don't they?
No, they have Canopy. I know the niggas that are fucking grown to these guys. Like, cause half of them are fucking, half of them are Alphabet boys,
But they're
right?
not the government, right? They're just
No,
contracted. Like
what I'm
the
saying.
government is selling it.
So listen, so half of the guys that are in the for the government, right, are Alphabet boys. When I say
What
Alphabet
do you mean by
boys,
that?
okay, so like like American Alphabet boys, right? Like FBI and shit, right? So in Canada,
Yeah.
we have them too, right? But ours are so our alphabet isn't RCMP. Our alphabet is. I'll let you guys finish the sentence for me, but like it's the same like, it's the same people, but they just so some of them are legal and some of them aren't. Like, yes, but it's the same, but it's the same fucking people. That's what I don't like. I just don't understand how people can't see that. Like, if you really look into it, like, so the legal money is coming from this corporation, but the illegal money is still coming from the same corporation. It's just being taxed differently because they're claiming it under so the one guy's claiming it under the actual business name and the other guy is claiming it under an actual private name. And it just makes me laugh that
Oh, Nahal, do you want to grab it?
that they know that like where it is. Like they like
Sorry? I think so.
How?
Can't sue the number. You can't sue the number.
ouch. Stupid fucking cast.
Go outside.
Go now.